You are about to listen to the words of Fethullah Gulen, a distinguished Islamic scholar and thinker. In this podcast, you will hear his essay, The Inner Peace.
For as long as humanity has existed, we have dreamed of peace, obsessed over it, pursued it, and struggled for its sake. We have sought peace through hard work and material prosperity, through the fulfillment of desire and unlimited freedom, through technological advancements that promote physical comfort, and through the pleasure and gratification of sexual desire. In these ways, humanity has dedicated its life to the attainment of peace. And even though we have plenty of reasons to be hopeful, we never reach our destination. How could we? The peace we pursue is the fruit of true virtue and can only be attained through the merit of perfect faith. This is the essence of the call of the prophets. If we want to attain peace, we must turn to God and submit our whole existence to Him. A believer living in such complete submission cannot be a captive to his carnal desires, nor will he fear anything but God. When he enters the protection of his beloved the Almighty, he is at peace at last. He knows that God, with absolute power and grace, will never forsake those who turn to Him and never let them fall into misery. For this reason, it is the believer who can truly feel the breezes of peace and security, and he will achieve this goal if he commits his life totally to God. He will be protected in his path and reunited with God in the realms beyond. His faith gives him confidence, his submission strengthens his conscience, and he entrusts his willpower to the divine authority. Thus he passes over every snare of sensuality and overcomes the urge of animal desires. With the Qur'an as his guide, he advances toward the purpose of his existence. Indeed, those who take shelter in the Qur'an's guidance will feel in their soul a deep contentment and an unshakable trust. They will breathe with confidence and security. As they contemplate life and reflect upon eternity, an expanding awareness of their moral and spiritual responsibility fills them with hope. This hope is directly proportional to the depth of their faith. Such believers consider everything from the perspective of divine mercy. If the curtain of material appearances were removed, they would see the eternal reality smiling at their good fortune. Faith is the key to happiness in this life and the next. It promises a pleasant rest after death to all who take refuge in it. Faith offers us the glad tidings of a gentle resurrection and merciful judgment. It unlocks the unimaginable treasures of paradise where we will at last witness God's infinite beauty and partake in His eternal pleasure. The promises of faith can sustain us through even the most difficult trials. When we as believers turn our whole existence toward God, everything else fades from our sight. The forces and powers of falsehood deflate like balloons. The glow of this transient world, which can dazzle our eyes with its glitter, grows faint in the light that He shines into our heart. We begin to hear everywhere the proclamation, "Today all sovereignty belongs to God, the One, the All-Powerful." At this point, our hearts are freed from the deceptive promises of false powers, false mercies, and false graces. We turn to Him alone for help. When our hearts are shaken with adversities, we trust in and rely solely on Him. In the sanctuary of His merciful providence, which encompasses all existence, we are guarded against all threats. When we are weak, we are protected by His transcendent power. When tainted by sin, we are bathed in the basin of His forgiveness. Through our faith, reliance, and submission to Him, we disperse the fog that obscures our horizon. Thus we face the future without fear or surrender. We approach our individual, familial, and social problems with a conscience that is rooted in Him. There is no loneliness that we cannot overcome. Although we may experience temporary exile, our faith and submission always ground us in what is familiar. We welcome whatever difficulty befalls us with patience and trust. As believers, our faith and wisdom have made us acquainted with everything. Thus we engage with all creatures as friends. We are involved in the world and take the honor of our vicegerency seriously. Aware that all things have been created for our sake, we bow before God in gratitude and humility. Our souls are in the company of the angels, indeed of the entire universe. Nature stands before us as our ancestral home, and the world welcomes us like a mother's bosom. We pay no heed to the teachings of materialism or naturalism and relate everything in the universe to God. Thus, we are welcomed by everything in response. We are secure in all things, and we offer security to all. We are not scared of anyone, and we do not frighten anyone. Instead, we embrace all of humanity, our brothers and sisters, and we smile at all creatures. We taste and enjoy all of God's gifts, the water and the air, the soil and the flowers that grow in it, the gardens and the mountains. We greet the whole world with the language of the heart and show affection to its creatures, our companions and fellow guests. In all our actions, we demonstrate our purpose to call all creation to harmony and reconciliation. Through faith, the believer finally achieves the peace that humanity longs for. In his enviable calm, he is enraptured by faith's indefinable pleasures. A stranger to aggression and dispute, he only uses his strength to share his delights with others, revealing to them new horizons of possibility. He always endeavors to help others live, placing their needs before his own. He trusts God infinitely, but he never turns against people. His strength may come from God's absolute power, but he does not despise the assistance of other believers. The very forces that oppose him are transformed by the depth of his faith into tests that make him stronger. Thus, he continues his journey undeterred. Through faith and service to others, he enjoys the peace and the pleasure of God. Society will only be ready for peace when its individuals have reached such a state of contentment, loving and respecting each other from their hearts. Then the causes of disharmony will fade away. Individuals will not be divided by distinctions or privileges of birth or neighborhood. Once everyone and everything is acknowledged to be under the authority of the absolute origin, then we will truly become brothers and sisters, as the Qur'an teaches. This relationship is not superficial. Love and compassion will hold us together like the organs of a single body, to use the words of the prophet. Then we will become each other's eyes and ears, tongue and lips, hands and feet, sharing each other's pains and feeling each other's joys. In such a society, individuals commit their lives to the happiness of others, and there is no loneliness or misery among them. Children revere their parents like saints, and parents raise their children with diligent care. Spouses always treat each other with joy, for when they consider their eternal togetherness in the hereafter, even old age becomes like an early romance. Their shared life follows the path of conscience and reason, and they move beyond the fickle swings of emotion. They are so loyal to each other that not even dreams or thoughts could distract them from their love. A nation can also become like this family of peace, existing in perfect harmony. In a nation composed of such families, people will treat each other with compassion and respect. They will wish to see their neighbors succeed and work to eliminate evils. They think well of everyone, are not wary of anyone, and do not denigrate anyone's honor. In such a nation, people are not pursued or arrested on mere suspicion. One part of society does not dedicate its life to the destruction of another. People do not resort to conspiracy, mendacity, or slander. In this society of conscience and peace, people are in a constant battle against evils, for they have pledged to protect human virtue.
You have just listened to the words of Fethullah Gulen, brought to life through an AI-generated voice. Known for his teachings on faith, interfaith dialogue, peace, and education, Mr. Gulen also inspired the Hizmet movement, a global initiative that promotes democracy, human rights, equality, and nonviolence. To learn more about Fethullah Gulen and the Hizmet movement, visit fethullahgulen.com.